Welcome back, y'all. We're super excited to feature our next artist on the show, Mr. Charley Crockett. A little blues, soul, R&B, and yes, even some straight-up honky-tonk. It all fits in Charley's bag. This South Texas native styles are as varied as his musical journey. Check him out for yourself.
What you doing over there with that camera, man?
Is a pretty good example of kind of what I've been doing as a musician, which is, you know, half of those songs are originals and half of them are covers. And that's how I kind of am as an artist. I love interpreting other people's songs as much as I like writing them. And I think you gotta learn somebody else's good song to be able to write a good one yourself. We live in that era where I'm as influenced by Bill Withers as I am by Hank Williams Sr. You know, and I mean, it's hard to imagine that being possible in an earlier generation. Honky tonk stations will play a couple of my songs on there, like Look What You Done, and then we can get on KXT for something that's more soulful, kind of rockin' type of tune, like In the Night. And that's just the way I learned how to play music. I never was actively trying to like put all these genres together. It's just street playing really does, it comes together in a melange, you know, a gumbo. But the song on there that's gone the farthest for me is a song called I'm Not Afraid. And that's really what got me my first attention, like completely out of obscurity.
And darling, I am unafraid to, not afraid to love you. I am not afraid.
I mean, I was born in South Texas, you know, so I have got that background of being from the Valley, you know, same area as Freddie Fender out in a very rural agricultural area. But the story of music for me really starts with New Orleans. My uncle lived there, was working at a restaurant in the French Quarter, and I started living with him when I was young, kind of going back and forth between there and Dallas, where my mama moved up. And that's what exposed me to street music, was being in the French Quarter all the time because of those players up and down Royal Street. And then I started playing in the street. That's where I first heard Hank Williams drinking songs, was on the street there. My bucket's got a hole in it. And with New Orleans, if you get into that music culture, you're gonna get into that traveling culture. And that's where I started hitchhiking, hopping trains and stuff, was with the other players that I was hanging out with, playing in the street. And that's how I got up to New York City, was hitchhiking and stuff. And then I started playing on the subways in New York City, applying a lot of the New Orleans stuff that I knew. You get in, play the song, and get out before they realize what you're doing, you know? I like to keep them short, you know? People ask me what my songs are about, and I say they're about 2 or 3 minutes.
And I have to catch the honky-tonk blues. Yeah, the honky-tonk blues. Good Lord, I got the honky-tonk blues.
At the time, In the Night, we were still pushing that record real hard, wanted to give it its full life, to get out there in front of people and see what maybe would come our way from the response to the record. And I wanted to cut this album, and my manager, JR, was like, well, if you do something, just, you know, do it as like a side name deal. And so I decided to call it Lil GL's Honky Tonk Jubilee. And Lil GL is a nickname that my friend Jay Moeller gave me. And GL Crockett is where he got the name from. And that guy is like a 50s, 60s obscure R&B guy from Mississippi, and he would just always clown around it. We could be related. He would be calling me Lil GL when we were first cutting in the studio. And I liked that as a pseudonym, you know, and so I just went over to my friend Billy Horton's place outside of Austin and said, hey, I want to do this record. And he just called up all the best honky-tonk dudes that he knew in town, and my friend Jay Moeller, who plays drums, is the guy that got me over there. And so that was just done in 3 days.
She just caught the Jamestown ferry. It's not a hot day, January, like she said it'd be if she ever left me.
The one that I felt would do the best was Jamestown Ferry. We went ahead and made a music video for that Rolling Stone premiered, and it's been doing real good for us. Brendan Lee's singing on it. It's got the sweeping pedal steel on there. I just love that song, you know. It was a hit for Tanya Tucker in 1972. The dudes that play with me out on the road, they half of those guys played on the record prior to that, called In the Night, that we did, and then the new record that I just cut in Memphis, all those guys are on that too, and they're so versatile, like my live band, that we can just be straight cooking boogie blues, and then we can switch over and be doing George Jones, you know, Tear in Your Beer, honky tonk, you know, and just versatile cats, man. That's that Deep Ellum scene, you know, that's where I met most of them, is in the Deep Ellum scene. You know, people call me a blues artist, and then the other people who see me as a country artist, you know, it's funny, you know, some people will say, well, that's not blues, that's country. Other people say, no, that's not country, that's blues. And I mean, if Hank Williams wasn't a blues singer, I ain't from Texas, you know, so.
And I won't cry.